Hello YouTube friends. Today is Saturday, 25th of May, and where I was pointing my camera at was the cemetery we visited a couple of weeks ago. I was talking about another cemetery back then, which is behind me, and I've actually never been in there, so I'm thinking we're going there today. So Saturday, 25th May, it's around 11:30-ish a.m. Another nice spring day. We've been lucky regarding the weather for the last couple of weeks. We had a day the other day where it was raining, but other than that it's been like 18-20 degrees, mostly sunny. So that's really nice. So this cemetery, give me a second, I need to get my bearings. I've actually never been in here before. I always wanted to, but yeah, this is what it's called in Danish. I guess it might translate to something like Garrison Cemetery, I think it might be. Like, but the cemetery we visited a couple of weeks ago, I just pointed my camera at on the other side of the street, was called Holmen's Cemetery, which is the oldest functioning cemetery in Copenhagen, in Denmark maybe even, I'm not sure, but in Copenhagen at least. It was built, that's from 1660 something. This one is almost as old. It's, I would say, 1670s or 80s, so it's almost as old, and is also still functioning. Let me just take a few pictures for my Instagram, because I usually forget, as you know. Here we go. What I do know, I'll post a link as per usual if you want some more details, but what I do know about this cemetery is that when it was built in the 1670s or 80s, it was meant, maybe that's why it's called Garrison, I don't know. It was meant to be like a military cemetery. And that only lasted a few years. And it was mostly just derelict for a number of years, many years actually, I think. But then Copenhagen was struck by, and I don't remember the year of this, but I'm sure it'll be in the link I post. But Copenhagen was struck by the plague, which I'm sure was very unpleasant. And a lot of people died back then. I'm not sure how many people lived in Copenhagen, but I think maybe somewhere between 30 and 50,000 people died. And back then it wasn't as big a city as it is now, so I'm guessing that was a huge chunk of the population. So they started using this cemetery again to accommodate all the dead people of the plague. After that, though, years went by again, and it started to become a cemetery that, I wouldn't say famous people, but people of status used, and I guess has been that way ever since. That's what I roughly do know about this cemetery. Again, I'll post a link if you're interested in more details. It's actually a pretty cemetery, I think. It's nice. It helps that it's spring. We are actually lodged in between. Let me see if I can point my camera here. I don't know if you can tell, but let me see if I can zoom in. It's maybe hard to tell from here, but behind all those trees at this side of the cemetery a lot of really huge and expensive houses, but they're used mostly as what's the English word? Embassies for foreign countries. And on this side, where I'm pointing my camera now, we can't see it because of the trees, obviously, but are, for example, the American embassy. So, since we're in between embassies, people probably know that we're here. Hopefully they'll know it's a camera that I'm carrying and not something dangerous. If they think it's something dangerous, I'm sure we'll find out in a short while. So stay tuned. Interesting to see the difference between gravestones here. Yeah. So like I said, I haven't been in here before, so I am kind of, you know, just randomly cruising around. It's funny because it's only in the spring that I ever notice, you know, flowers and stuff. In the summertime, and I don't. Then in the autumn I start noticing again. I think it's because when things change, it kind of wakes me up. Oh, I need a picture of this. When things are more like standing still, like static, I tend to not be very alert. Or not alert is not the right word, that sounds negative, but attentive probably is the word I'm looking for. No, but you probably know what I mean. So when smells, temperature, colors, sounds start to change, it kind of wakes me up in a good way. So yeah, spring, autumn, I love it. Winter, summer, not so much. When I'm pausing like this, it's because I'm taking pictures for my Instagram. It's not because I've forgotten about you guys. Should we try go this direction perhaps? Oh, and for the last week I've had a devilish spring cold, a couple of days with fever and a snotty nose and coughing. It's getting better. The fever's gone. It was only for a couple of days, but I'm still kind of snot-nosed and coffee. I just invented a new word here. Yeah, what you can see right in front of us is the American embassy. Or the back side of it. So yeah, I would say this spring so far, most of May, I think we'd have 1 or 2 rainy days, but most of May have been really summerish. I mean, some days even over 20, like 22 degrees. That's not normal this early in the year. But since it's still early in the year, it means that it still gets kind of cool at night. And that's very important for me because I can't sleep when it's too hot. But when the temperature still cools down at night, I'm alright. So, but in a month or so, I'll probably be suffering. It's a strong word, I know. Don't mean it that seriously, so. Let's see if we can. Let me think. Because I also told you about. I even swore and everything for the first time on YouTube, and I did manage to beep that out actually, so I'm not getting into trouble with YouTube. But when a couple of weeks ago we visited the cemetery on the other side of the street, I told you about an old important historic mansion that I think it was the Turkish state who purchased it because they wanted to use it as their embassy. They never did, and for many years it's just been dilapidating and getting in worse and worse condition, and I really have strong feelings about that. that should not be legal. You know, buying important history and then just leaving it to rot. But it's the building in there. It's hard to see from here. I saw some pictures from the front. I mean, windows are smashed and everything is rotting and falling apart, and it's, yeah, like I said, an important historic building, so that really makes me not just sad but kind of angry too. I mean, if you buy something, you take responsibility for it, in my opinion. So yeah, nothing I can do about that though, sadly. Anyways, it's a lovely day. Let's concentrate on that instead. Okay, I'm, let me see, where am I now? I think no, is that back where we started? I think we'll go further down than this time. We just scratched the edge of it. Let's try to go further down to the other side, the eastern side of that cemetery instead. See what we can see. I think that lady was about to breastfeed, so I quickly turned the camera in the other direction. You guys know how I feel about privacy. Don't mind filming when I'm taking a walk, but I don't want to snoop in other people's business. Let's go this way. I think I was just stung by a mosquito. First of the year. That's weird. Some years I don't get stung even once, and other years it's like constantly. So yeah, I've forgotten to figure I've given up to find the logic in that, but let's try to go this way. I'm actually not sure how to get out, if we have to get out the same way we got in. Oh, there must be another exit. Let's see if we can find an exit down in the opposite end of the cemetery. Yeah, I was stung by something, that's for sure. Ugh. Yeah, me being kind of sick this time of year is not usual. I usually maybe get the flu once every other year, and maybe I do have a bit of a cold once a year, but nothing really. So this year I've had 2 colds. That's not usual for me. Sucks, but you know, it's not serious, so I'll be fine. It's just annoying. It takes out some of your energy when you're busy at work and you have other stuff to do too. It's really annoying, but yeah. It's almost gone now, so a couple of more days, hopefully I should be tip top again. Maybe these are the cheaper grave places or something, I don't know. I have no idea what stuff like that costs actually. Yep, got stung by something. My left pinky is now swelling. Alright, let's see. Kinda lost. I think I'll stay close to the wall. That way I'll discover if there's an exit. How do we? Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I mean, it can't be that there's only one entrance or exit, I guess. That would be weird. Or maybe here. I think some. Yeah, I think here we go, yeah. Alright. One last look. Let's head back into civilization. Since this area is very close to the lakes, and I do live back home in that direction, I think we'll head in the direction of the lakes and then maybe finish off when we get there. It's not the same place as last week, don't worry. It's not the exactly same route. It's further east. We're gonna pass another great bakery right now, right in front of us. It's really hot right now. I think it's over 20 degrees. It feels really hot. Østerbro, which we're on now. It's more, it's still kind of hipsterish, but it's more like a grown-up adult, not youthful hipster area. So, you know, cool people with a bit of money who maybe had their first kids and stuff like that live here. Right in front of us, up where the intersection is with the green trees, is the far east end of the lakes.
Jeg kommer tilbage lidt senere, Moral.
Det er ikke det samme.
Alright, in front of us, Aras mentioned the far east end of the lake, so I think we'll go over there and end up over there. Alright guys, I think that's it for today. As per usual, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Push all the buttons if you haven't already, and right about now a suggestion for watching another video should pop up on your screen, so please feel free to hang out with me in another video. Other than that, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.